Only in very small towns do gas station holdups end up on the evening news. Unless, of course, the holdup man is actually a holdup kid. And by kid, I mean 12-year-old boy. It is hard to believe I'm even saying that, I know. But here's the tape to prove it.
Money in the bag. What? Money in the bag. Are you serious? Yeah. Here, get out, right. Here, take it.
That is the Marathon Station on East Main Street in Hartford, Michigan. And this is the 911 phone call that followed that robbery.
It was just robbed at 108 East Main Street.
We're just robbed? Okay. 108 East Main? Okay, at gunpoint?
Yeah, he had the gun in the store. He was just a little boy. He was probably like, I don't know, like maybe 10.
Huh. In fact, the young robber at 12 years old is so young that we are not even allowed to mention his name. He made off with $5,000 from that clerk, and then he was busted about a few minutes later, a little over a block away. Because let's be frank, at 12 years old, could he really have masterminded much of a getaway? Tonight, that kid is being held on 6 felony counts in juvenile court. Police say that boy lives with his grandfather, that the gun came from the grandfather's locked safe. Grandfather doesn't know how that happened. And they also say that he talked about committing armed robbery earlier that day at middle school. Because, of course, at 12, he's likely only in 6th or 7th grade. Gregory Parker is a police officer, and he has seen his fair share of juvenile crime, and he joins me tonight. Hey, Greg. So I get all mixed up when I see these stories because I am so angry that this kid did that to that woman. You heard in her voice how terrified she was. And then I remember he is just a kid. He has no sensibility. His brain hasn't even formed yet. But half of the population gets really mad and wants him charged as an adult. So what are the chances that's actually going to happen?
Very little, to be honest with you. Very little. He gets charged as an adult at 12 years old. The system just doesn't work that way. They tend to do things such as mediation, unless there's a crime of violence where he actually hurt someone, if he shot her or intended to harm her, then that would be significantly different in the court system. But because he took something that's pliable, he took money, I highly doubt that he will be charged as an adult.
So because you're a police officer, and this is like your bailiwick, right? You see this stuff all the time. Do you feel the same way about it as the rest of us who, you know, are watching it on TV and thinking, how on earth can a 12-year-old fire a gun up into a ceiling and commit an armed robbery within 30 seconds? Is this a surprise to you, or is this just Tuesday, you know?
This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for me, honestly, to be honest. I'm not surprised, because I see it every day. I've been through it. I've been doing this job for 7 or 8 years now. I've seen it multiple times. So it's not new to me. This is something I see all the time. But what I will say is that it's happening a lot more frequently than it used to happen. And I think that's partially because of a couple of movements that have occurred over the past several years. And a lot of these younger generation, they don't think that there is a consequence for their actions. So they're going out on a limb and doing a lot more things that are a lot more dangerous these days.
So listen, Officer Parker, with regard to that thing you just said about consequences, I hear you. It drives me bananas. However, I did read something that surprised me on this one. So first of all, the kid apparently showed little emotion during and after the incident. Right? So that's depressing that a 12-year-old isn't rattled or upset or getting caught and freaking out. Nope, no emotion. The family court referee, which also is a weird term. I didn't realize they called them family court referees in that state, but they ruled that this boy was a public safety risk and thus had to remain at the Allegan County Juvenile Center. So a 12-year-old boy is basically locked up and not allowed to go home. To me, that's a pretty big consequence. All of a sudden, everything gets real awful darn fast. But is that much to a kid like that?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say, really, because you'd have to know what was going on in his head at the time. You'd have to know what he had been through in his life, and you'd have to know what drove him to do that. You know, the average 12-year-old isn't going and putting a gun to someone and firing a round off in the air and demanding cash. That's not what the average 12-year-old is stealing. And I'll tell you from my experience that, you know, juveniles, they take things such as candy, items, electronics. You know, they're not putting a gun to someone and holding up a store. So there's a lot more to the story than what we know. But it doesn't change the fact that a heinous felony was committed. So I'm not, that's a question that I really don't truly have an answer for without a little bit more on the kid himself.
I also find it pretty astounding that he loaded it, right? There's a big difference between grabbing a weapon, sometimes a fake weapon, brandishing it to scare somebody to get your, you know, to carry out your robbery. But it takes a lot more to load it, have it cocked and ready to go, and to know what to do. Like, he knew this wasn't an accidental fire off. He pointed it up to show her, bang, pull the trigger. That to me shows a very dangerous kid at age 12. What are his prospects? Just, I guess, looking at the statistics, officer, like, statistically speaking, what's going to happen to that boy?
And he could fall victim to the streets, like you said. Loading the weapon, not only loading it, but choosing to fire it. That shows intent. You have a very serious intent. And generally what I have seen with children like that is they go down a very dark path. Life in prison, sometimes death. And it's not pretty when it comes to evil things like that with children, because I don't know what he's seen. I don't know what he was born into. I don't know what his experiences are, but that kid went in there with the intent to rob that store. He went in there with the intent to either, if he didn't get what he wanted, to possibly cause harm. And he did that. And he showed that by firing the firearm in the air and showing her that it was real, which probably put her in a significant amount of fear. So, you know, children like that, or even adults like that go in there and do stuff like that, it's dangerous. And it's hard to say what sort of future that kid has. From my experience, it's not going to be much. It's not going to be much unless he chooses to turn.
And who knows how long it's going to be before he's right out back on the streets again, because again, he's 12. And if he doesn't get charged as an adult, he'll be back out on the streets more than likely. Officer Parker, thank you. Thank you for talking us through this and making me feel at least like I understand it more. I don't feel better about it, but I certainly feel like I understand it a little bit more. Thanks, and thanks for the work you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.